Goed, we gaan denk ik maar beginnen. Even kijken, mijn vader is. Ja, die is binnen. Oké. Nou, lieve familie, Sufi vrienden en in het bijzonder lieve papa en natuurlijk Missa ook en alle andere familieleden. Wat fijn en ontroerend dat jullie allemaal in zulke grote getalen gekomen zijn naar de boekpresentatie van onze vader. Daar zijn wij echt heel erg blij en dankbaar voor. Dank je wel. Ja, wat een mooie creatieve bijdrage. Dank. Wij dachten eigenlijk dat we nu maar even naar een bijzonder moment moesten gaan voordat we jou het woord geven. Dat het misschien het goede moment zou zijn om met z'n vieren en helaas zonder Jos jou het eerste exemplaar van het welbegeerde boek te gaan geven. Dus... You understood
You might have guessed the moment now is the moment we're going to present the first copy of the book, which is it's all about today.
And we will. En wij zullen het aan jou gaan uitreiken. Dat gaan we met z'n vieren doen. Dus nou, jij hebt het boek in je hand. Dus en jij mag opstaan. Nou, daar gaan we met z'n vieren. Kom.
Hartelijk dank.
Alsjeblieft, met veel handen en veel liefde. Nou, dan moet je even kijken, op zijn minst. Je moet op zijn minst even kijken.
Nou, kijk eens aan.
Het is geen plastic kaft. Ik had mijn vader wijsgemaakt dat er een plastic kaft om het boek kwam. Toen keek hij heel verbrouwereerd. Hij zei, plastic? Ik zeg, ja, sorry, het budget was op.
Oké, maar prachtig. Ja, zeg maar. Prachtig gedaan.
Ja? Nou, we hopen dat je er blij mee bent. Je ziet, als je het waarschijnlijk gaat lezen, zie je waarschijnlijk op bladzijde 5 al een typfout of iets anders. Maar dat laten we graag aan jouw kritische geest over. Nou, ik denk dat jij nu aan de beurt bent om het in. Wacht even. En, willen jullie hem zien of niet zien? Ja, hè? Dus draai hem om. En het boek. We zullen het boek ook even laten zien. Die kunnen jullie dadelijk daarachter in de zaal. Ik kom dadelijk nog met huishoudelijke mededelingen en nog meer terug. Maar hier is het boek. Jullie mogen het niet fietsen in de boekenkast. Goed. Nou, hier is onze vader zelf die ook nog wat gaat zeggen.
Well, dear friends.
Oh, in het Engels.
Oh, sorry. Nee, ik geloof hij is het nu ergens aan vertalen, hè?
Ja.
Nee joh,
Engels.
It remains for me to express a very, very warm thanks to quite a few people who have been involved in this book, that you will understand, and that will be my main theme, of course, for now. But you know, it was suggested somewhere along the line that I knew the contents of the book already, but that was not the case. Because, you know, the three girls were of course involved in, you have heard that, how in composing this book and having, and so that meant, you know, as a young generation will be, that it had to be a surprise. So the book still is a surprise for me, except that I read a few passages about the music, which was extremely enthusiastic about. It was a wonderful chapter, and the following chapter as well, of course. But so the rest of the book, I didn't really know, except now and then they came with one line, and I should not see more than just one line or two lines to understand. They had a question. Will you please give an answer to this question? So here and there, you know, I got an impression of something, but no further impression of the book at all, except that it was going to be a very promising one. And as I said, that is of course owing to many people who contributed to that. Jos van den Heuvel is really the one who took the lead in this. I remember very well, we had a conversation once in the Nekbacht biographical department in Suran, which is a lovely place to be if you want to read about Sufism, not only but of all kind of related traditions as well. That biographical department is the place to be. And so we were very happy that we met there and felt talking about whatever we occupied with, which happened to be Sufism and everything connected with it. And so then he suddenly came up with this question: why don't you, why couldn't you write something about yourself? I said, well, no, why should I? And besides, it's not a good idea to write about yourself anyway. And besides, I'm a very dullish kind of person, so nothing's important to write about me. But then he said, well, all right, but would you agree if somebody wrote about you? And I said, well, if anybody thinks there's anything at all interesting about me, well, let them try, but of course it's not going to work out. But anyway, then of course he had a talk with the girls, and they rather found that they had more promising modes of response. And, you know, as you will find I've always been more of a kind of person who liked to watch things rather than participate in things. And that was because I was the youngest of all the family. Of course, Murshid Ali Khan's children, my cousins, they were a good deal older than me, but also the Sufi leadership and all that. They were all people related to me, but I just had to watch, and that was a very enjoyable thing to be doing. And I couldn't imagine that participating myself would be at all more enjoyable than just look on and watch and take in what was being done. But anyway, so Jos van den Heuvel changed all that, and in discussion with the three girls, they started taking this initiative. And then, of course, well, in the first place, then, every honor and thanks to Jos van den Heuvel for this accomplishment. It's really his work. Then, lots of thanks and compliments to the three girls whom you have just heard, and everything they did and contributed to get this done. And then, of course, we get the people who actually executed it, which in the first place, of course, Wali van Zwan, who had a lot of work to do, and I know there were a lot of discussions going on about all kind of questions, all kind of details, etc. So enough to try anybody's patience, but he did it. He got it done, and this is the beautiful result you achieved. So this was wonderful, really, and very interested to hear your observations as well, how you contribute to this, Ariane. So many thanks to the two of you. And then, of course, where is our friend here, Paul? Go. So, you took a huge initiative, of course, in doing all these interviews. You and how you did. I really enjoyed the time, and I admired you. You know, Paul used to come with a whole series of questions, which on this particular session is going to be discussed. And believe it or not, we never got much further than the first or second question. So, everything which is not there still makes it. But he had, I mean, as an historian, he had really a very clear mind, very sharp insight in what kind of questions do you ask. And that in itself is very interesting thing. I myself, I'm a student of history, and so is Paul as well. So we really had that kind of communication about how do you go about writing anything historical. So it was a really great joy, and as Paul already said, the participation of Leo and Christy was of course quite indispensable. It's a day with enormous technical know-how, and I must say also enormous patience, mind you. Recorded and recorded again, and revised the recordings, etc. It's an enormous kind of work without his great experience of all this work that would never have been achieved, I think. So you owe very great thanks also to Leo and Christy, who are not there today. You've heard it, like Jos, they are health-wise not able to come here today, but many, many thanks to them as well for everything they achieved. And so, I think I'm almost done with everybody who was actually working on the book. But, you know, we had our Sufi community, we have our friends, those people who kind of contributed with their open hearts to come and listen to all this. So I have to thank all of you to show your interest in coming here, and well, hopefully you find it worthwhile. If not, there are always passages you will find worthwhile about music. The book ends very appropriately written, something about Murshid Ali Khan himself. So, well, I hope it will be a satisfaction for those of you who find it worthwhile reading it. But in the first, thank you for being together here and enjoying this afternoon together. I must say it's of course hard not to feel embarrassed when you are the object of this kind of purpose, of a book being written about you and then everybody coming up to show their interest. Well, you know, that's every reason to express a certain gratitude for the patience everybody showed. Then, of course, from this moment, we are going to, let us say, the next wing of our personal union. You know, we have that personal union between us and the Inayat. And now that wing of that other wing of the personal union, the Inayat, is coming up in the form of Sakili, who is going to, well, give us an additional nourishment, as I understand. So please, Saki, please come up and take over.
So this will be very short, but just to say that it's such a joy to be together for this great occasion of this book that has been presented now. But there's something extra which we normally have shared together here each year, which is to honor Sheikh Masheikh for his birthday. He is 96 years young. Just recently. Hague that will be presented to him, which is a very artistic work of art again, which the last year we had one, you wanted to be in the Sufi museum. It was almost too beautiful to eat. But everyone is welcome to partake of this. So namens de Inayatia en Piercia en Sartage, na afloop hebben wij een heel mooi verjaardagstaart voor Sheikh Masheikh. En iedereen is van harte welkom. So do you want to give the logistics?
But I found you at last.